What if the biggest wall blocking you isn't around you, but inside you? Think about it. You've set goals, you've pushed yourself, you've dreamed bigger, but for some reason it feels like every time you get close, you smack into an invisible ceiling. Do you know the feeling? You're running hard, you see the finish line, and then boom, you trip. And it's not because the world shoved you down, by the way. It's because something inside of you tied your shoelaces together before you even started. It's frustrating, it's exhausting, and you tell yourself, hey, maybe I'm just not cut out for it. Maybe I'm missing something other people have. But what if the truth isn't that you're missing something, but that you're carrying something? This is part 2 of our series on mindset shifts for our best year yet. And last time we talked about letting go of the past, releasing what's behind you so you can step into what's ahead. But here's the thing. Once you drop the baggage, you still face the walls built inside of you. Walls made of beliefs that you didn't even realize you were carrying. And today, we gonna tear them down together. So lean in, because it's not about what you think, it's about who you believe you are. It's always easier to blame the outside world. Always. It's easier to blame someone or something else than face what's going on inside of us. I didn't get the promotion because my boss is unfair. I can't start that business, the economy's bad. I'll never find the right relationship. All the good guys are taken. Sound familiar? You see, those excuses feel safe. And the reason they feel safe is because they let you off the hook. They keep you from asking harder questions. Maybe a question that sounds like, what belief am I carrying that's caging me in? Because here's the reality. You weren't meant to live caged by thoughts you didn't choose. Some of the loudest voices in your head aren't even yours. They're borrowed, hand-me-down mentalities. Maybe your family, maybe culture, maybe your teachers, maybe past pain. Somebody once told you money is evil. People like you don't succeed. Play it safe. Don't get your hopes up. And little by little, those voices become bricks, and the walls got higher. And now, even when the door is wide open, you stay inside the cage because the wall in your mind feels real. But the good news is, if you didn't choose those beliefs, you don't have to keep them. You can trade them in. You can break them down. You can build new ones. So how do we break through? We break through by shifting the beliefs that are shaping our identity. Here are 3 mindset shifts I offer you today. The first mindset shift is from scarcity to abundance. Scarcity says there's not enough. It says if they win, I lose. Abundance says, hey, there's enough room for me too. Opportunities are everywhere. And this isn't just a mindset, it's an identity. Scarcity keeps you hustling for scraps, while abundance lets you create and attract because you know your value adds to the table. And so I ask you, where in your life do you feel like you're competing for scraps? Where do you believe that there's not enough? I want you to remember this. You cannot create from scarcity. A scarcity mindset makes you grasp, cling, and shrink, but abundance makes you bold. Mindset shift number 2 is from victim to creator. You can't always choose what happens. Sometimes it feels like life is unfair, circumstances can hurt, but you can always choose your response. And it is in that choice that your power resides. The thing about the victim mentality is the victim mentality rehearses what it can't control. Hey. While a creative mentality focuses on what it can build with what it's got. So are you a victim of your story, or are you an author of it? Stop rehearsing pain and make a decision that today you're going to rewrite the story. The third mindset shift is from fear of failure to growth from failure. Failure isn't proof you're not good enough. It's proof you're in the arena. Fear says, if I fail, I'm finished, which is never the truth, by the way. Growth says, if I fail, I found a lesson that will move me forward. And this is how winners think, because every breakthrough is built on a pile of breakdowns. Now, these 3 shifts aren't just shifts in thought, they're shifts in the belief of who you are. Scarcity says you're a survivor. Abundance says you're a builder. Victim says you're a reactor. Creator says you're an author. Fear says you're a prisoner, while growth says you're a pioneer. So which do you want to be? There was a young man named Sylvester Stallone. Eventually he became the star of Rocky, but before that, he was broke, rejected, and told over 1,000 times that he was not good enough to be an actor. At one point, he had to sell his dog, his best friend, for food money. That's pretty bad. But here's what's wild. He didn't accept the belief that he wasn't good enough. He flipped it. He said, okay, if Hollywood won't hand me out a role, I'll just write one for myself. That belief that he could create instead of wait became Rocky. And as they say, the rest is history. And most would look at that story and say, well, the barrier is rejection. But the barrier wasn't rejection. The barrier was the potential belief that he could have accepted. But rather than believing the story that was handed to him, he rewrote it. And I've come to tell you, that's what you're capable of too. What about Michael Jordan being cut from his team? He could have accepted the story that he's not enough. Instead, he built an identity of a relentless learner. What about J.K. Rowling, who was rejected 12 times before Harry Potter? Could have believed that no one cares about my stories. Instead, she believed her words had power. These people aren't better than you. They all started somewhere. And if you don't get anything else from today's lesson, get this. Walls don't fall because of talent. Walls fall because of belief systems. So how do we begin to rewrite the script? Let's get practical. I challenge you to take out a piece of paper tonight and write down one belief that's been holding you back. Maybe it's something like you're not ready, you're not good enough, people like you don't succeed. Once you write it down, make a decision to flip it. Rewrite that same belief into an empowering belief that aligns with who you're becoming. The belief that you're not ready can become, I'm resourceful enough to start and grow along the way. The belief that you're not good enough can become, I'm exactly enough for the assignment on my life. Post it on your mirror and say it every single morning. The rewiring is not just in writing it, it's in declaring it and speaking it out every day. And if you declare it and speak it out every day, eventually your brain is going to start believing it. That's how you rewire identity. Because beliefs aren't broken by silence, they're broken by sound, saying something. There's an old story about a farmer who found an eagle's egg and placed it in the nest of one of his chickens. The eaglet hatched and grew up with the chickens. It scratched in the dirt for food. It clucked and cackled like the chickens. It never flew more than a few feet off the ground, because that's all it ever saw. One day, the eagle, now fully grown, looked up and saw a majestic bird soaring above. Something in him began to stir, but the chickens around him began to cluck. Don't even think about it. Don't try that. You're one of us. You belong down here. You got any hating chickens in your life? So the eagle stayed. He lived and died thinking he was a chicken, when the whole time he was born to soar. And that's what limiting beliefs do. They keep you scratching in the dirt when you're born to soar. They convince you that living beneath your design is acceptable. But today, you get to choose. Are you going to keep clucking around with these hating chickens? Or are you going to rise like the eagle that God has made you? Because the walls inside don't change who you are. They only blind you to it. But once you break them, you're going to finally see that, hey, I was made to fly. So here's your challenge for this week. Don't just think it. Don't just write it. Declare it. Say it out loud. Drop your new belief in the comments. Put it out into the world and step into accountability. Because the moment you share it, you're not just thinking about your new identity, you're stepping into it. And I leave you with this. When you rewrite your beliefs, you don't just break through a wall, you realize there was never a real wall to begin with. You realize it was paper thin, how weak it was. You realize that all it really took was a decision. And once you've broken down one limiting belief, once you've ripped through the paper thin wall, you'll never stop tearing down the rest. And that's how you step into a life unimaginable. Tell me below, what belief are you letting go of? What belief are you stepping into? And remember, you're not caged by what's around you. You're only caged by what's within you. And once you break those walls, you're unstoppable. If you made it this far, I want to invite you to hit that subscribe button and become an expander. Join our growth community, and always remember that growth is a journey. It's not a destination. I'm in it with you. I'll see you on the next one.